Good afternoon. This is Lieutenant Colonel Peter Cross reporting to you from the Recruiting and Retention Battalion headquarters. And we haven't done this in about 2 months, and so it's overdue. There have been 2 issues that are important that I want to convey to you in this message. And this message may be a bit longer than the past messages, but there's a lot of information to convey, and I hope you'll be patient while listening to this message. Yesterday, I received the Adjutant General's new priorities. And these priorities tie into the second issue I want to talk to you about, and that is the publication of Operation Sunrise, which was released this week. The Adjutant General's priorities start with number 1, civil support. This is the mission that supports the governors in times of state emergencies like fires and earthquakes and riots, things of that nature. And so it's very important that this is looked at as a no-fail mission. Clearly, our contribution to this is filling the ranks of the units that are obligated to respond on behalf of the governor. And so we need to be cognizant of priority number 1. The second priority, and I would submit the priority that pertains to us the most, is readiness. And readiness is defined as administrative and logistical readiness. And I was very encouraged, and you should be too, that General Baldwin, the Adjutant General, yesterday conveyed to each of his commanders that recruiting and retention was not exclusively the responsibility of our command. And he sees lead generation, RSP participation, and retention as a coordinated effort between the units and us. And I think that that's a very helpful message to you in the field, that he's conveying that to his commanders. And so he talked about readiness, and that's a new priority, by the way, as his second priority. Number 3 is internal controls. This is the process of having single, double, and triple checks on how you're spending money. And we have those established in our command. And so I feel very good about the command supporting that priority. And finally, we have strategic planning. And strategic planning in our case is important because the Adjutant General is looking at our state of 38 million citizens and comparing that to the size of our Guard, which is about 16,500. And if you look at all the states in the nation, proportionally speaking, we have the smallest National Guard. And it's his belief that if we truly are responsive to the citizens of California, and this goes back to the first priority, our Guard needs to be larger. And so that ties into Operation Sunrise. Now, one note on strategic planning. It should be my responsibility to be looking out to 2013 and 2014. The company commanders should be looking at the remainder of this year, while team NCOICs are looking out 3, 4, 5, 6 months, and recruiting and retention NCOs are handling the business of this month. What we have right now is a command where all of us are, in a sense, dogpiling on this month and maybe next month. And we need to become more functional with those scopes of responsibilities I just laid out. But we'll get there. So, 4 priorities: civil support, readiness, internal controls, and strategic planning. You need to know these, and all the soldiers in the command need to know these, because the Adjutant General is going to be making his rounds, and we need to be able to back brief him on these priorities. Now let me talk about how this command is going to contribute operationally to these priorities. Operation Sunrise was just published, and this was a tremendous increase in the mission. And it's coming at mid-year, the 6-month mark. And one of my concerns is that this is seen as a bait and switch by the field. And it's absolutely not a bait and switch. This Operation Sunrise is developed and distributed to respond to the shortages of the first quarter and to respond to the Adjutant General and Commander of the Army National Guard's new goals. And so the mission's changed, and that happens in the Army. And we just need to flex to it. Now, I will admit that this mission, as prescribed in Operation Sunrise, is our max performance rate. And it's going to press recruiting and retention NCOs beyond what is comfortable. And I get that. But we need to strive for the marks in Operation Sunrise to meet the mission. And I want you all to understand that. What I don't accept is the increase in pressure on the mission, or the increase in the mission, which is going to make pressure go up, is going to somehow degrade unit morale. If you use that logic, then the Army would have never accomplished anything in its history, let alone our nation. There needs to be that pressure if we're going to perform in an outstanding manner. The job of the Team NCOIC is to maintain that unit morale and unit command climate while that mission goes up. So I see this more a challenge of leadership than buying into this notion that if the pressure goes up, the morale goes down. So Team NCOICs, I'm issuing that to you as a challenge to maintain. I don't even think company commanders can do this. This is going to be the responsibility of the Team NCOIC, and I put that out there for you to respond to. Now, I want to announce something, and it's a very serious announcement. I want to award at the end of the year our best recruiting and retention NCO with the Sergeant Major Robert Orr Memorial Award. And we're establishing this award on Sergeant Major Orr's behalf to recognize the best soldier in our command. And I think that'll have some meaning to most of the ranks. And this is going to be an award that will be enduring forever. And the Command Sergeant Major is in the process of developing that award in terms of what the trophy looks like. But I wanted to announce that is one way we're going to recognize our best performer of the year. Finally, I wanted to convey to you my appreciation. And I always want to end on a positive note because there's so much work going on in the field that is outstanding. We had one recruiter enlist 7 people into the Guard last month, which is just absolutely spectacular. Enlistments are going up, the floor counts are going up. I really get a sense we're firing on all cylinders, but we have a long way to go. And I'm asking for each of your support as we try to strive to meet the goals and objectives of Operation Sunrise. This is Lieutenant Colonel Cross at Integrity Base, out.